Hey everyone, happy weekend. Welcome back to Literally What, your weekend podcast, where pop culture, true crime, internet chaos have you saying literally what. Welcome back. If you were here last week's episode, I was so down bad, and when I was making my clips and editing, I sounded like I had been through it, and I really had. I don't know what sickness it was. It felt like I had every single sickness in the span of like a few days. So I feel 110%. And yeah, it feels good to appreciate feeling healthy. You always like take it for granted. Like just not having a stuffed nose, not having your throat hurting is just like such a big blessing that I always forget about. But back to normal. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Also, last night, literally the scariest thing ever happened. It was like 9:30 at night, just got done taking the dog outside. My husband was in the shower. All of a sudden, there is this banging at the door. It was so loud, and I was like, what the heck is happening? It was so loud and like a lot of knocking. And we don't have like a peephole at our front door, which now I want to put like my Ring camera out there because it freaked me out. And so I was like, oh my gosh, can you go out there and look? So I'm like, I'm not going out there looking. It's late at night. And so the person bangs again, rings the doorbell. I'm like, what the heck is happening? It's a cop at our front door. And I'm like, what the heck? Because in my mind, I'm always like worst case scenario. I'm like, am I getting arrested for something? Like, did I fill out my taxes wrong? Like, I had no idea what was going on. And he basically said that they received a 911 call from an iPhone and it pinged to our location. And I was like, what the heck? Because he was in the shower. I was outside. My phone was charging. We look and show him our phones and like nothing called 911. And he was like, okay, well, if there's no emergency, like night. And then I was thinking, okay, what if like a next door neighbor or someone was actually trying to call 911 and then it just pinged like our location? Because we were researching, and apparently like when cops get a 911 call from an iPhone, because I guess like no one answered. I don't know what exactly happened. I should have asked him more questions, but I was just like too freaked out. And it can just ping like a generic address or area, and it could be like the wrong house. So I was like, hopefully he knocked on a couple other doors around me, because what if someone actually did call 911? Because it wasn't us. And like all my other devices, like my Apple Watch, my iPad, they are all dead. But apparently, like I was reading online, it's happened to a lot of people where like someone will call 911 and then like either it's connected, like your phone number or like your address, because we recently moved, and apparently like if someone from the previous address called, it could have pinged here. Or like if someone, like a kid is like playing with an old iPhone or like iPod or whatever they have nowadays, it can still ping your house or something. And we have kids playing all the time around our house, but it was just like really scary. And I was like, no, I'm so sorry, like we didn't call 911. So yeah, that was so fun. And then my heart rate spiked and I could not fall asleep, so I just was sitting there the whole night. But that was so scary, and that was like my first encounter with having a cop come to my house. So yeah, hopefully whoever called is okay and didn't actually need help, because it wasn't us. Anyway, that's my crazy story of the week for you guys. But now we are at Memorial Day weekend. Happy Memorial Day. Happy 3-day weekend to all those who celebrate. I love these 3-day weekends, but Tuesday is going to suck because it makes it harder, I feel like, when it's 3 days, because you're so used to not working. And then even though like I'll have a short week next week, it's still just going to suck. But I'm excited. We have a Braves game tomorrow. Probably going to go out for some dinner, drinks, maybe one of the nights, try to take advantage of family time together. So anyway, I think that's everything I had to tell you guys. As always, make sure you're following the Instagram, the TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube. I post every single week. And then of course, most of you are probably listening to this on Spotify, but go ahead and give it 5-star reviews. And as always, all of my links and everything are in the description boxes. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into all of the stories for this week. All right, so our literally what moment of the week I've been dying to talk to you guys about, because this is a topic that I have a strong opinion on, but the things that continue to come out about it might be changing. But our literally what story is Justin Bieber and his Instagram post telling Hailey that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Now, for the most part, I feel like a lot of things that come out about Justin and Hailey are just fans reaching, and it's never really anything. I feel like Justin and Hailey are at home like laughing at everything. But this, to me, I was kind of like, what the heck? If my husband did this, we would be having words. Like, what do you mean? So basically, he went on Instagram to publicly congratulate Hailey because she was just on the cover of Vogue. But if you're thinking that he was like being nice about it, no, he definitely was not. He basically did a long caption detailing a fight that they had, which I don't agree with, like airing out your relationship problems to the world, especially when you're a celebrity who you already have everyone pretty much like what is the word? Is it a microscope? Using a microscope onto your relationship and thinking that you both secretly hate each other. So his caption read, and I saw this with my own eyes because my sister sent it to me, and then we'll get to the second part of what he did, but it said, "Yo, this reminds me when Hailey and I got into a huge fight. I told Hales that she would never be on the cover of Vogue. Yikes, I know, so mean. For some reason, because I felt so disrespected, I thought, I gotta get even." Okay, that's not good. You don't ever try to get even in a marriage. And then he said, "I think as we mature, we realize that we're not helping anything by getting even. We're honestly just prolonging what we really want, which is intimacy and connection. So baby, you already know, but forgive me for saying you wouldn't get a Vogue cover, because clearly I was sadly mistaken." There's so much wrong with this caption, but also asking for forgiveness in an Instagram caption? What the heck? So my sister sends this to me. I read it. I'm like, this is so insane. Then he changes the caption, okay, to just a line of emojis. It was like a shrugging guy emoji, a pointing finger emoji, the hand heart emoji, and then the little teary-eyed emoji, which is one of my least favorite emojis. So what the heck? Like, people already think you don't like your wife, and this is not helping anything because this is a direct action you made that is not helping the case that you love her and appreciate her. If my husband made an Instagram post congratulating me for something and was talking about a fight we had where he like didn't think I could do it, but also like, why would anyone do that? Like, why would anyone want, like, you should be your partner's number one fan and number one cheerleader. He's literally acting like a number one hater when she already has plenty of haters enough to deal with. And now you have to deal with your husband who's doing things like this. So crazy. And I just couldn't believe that he did this. And there's been a lot that has recently come out where people think that he's struggling financially. And it's just, I feel like anything he does at this point, it's not helping himself at all. This to me was really, really crazy because I haven't really seen anything that's like big neon sign of like Justin hates Hailey until this. For me personally, I know that people have seen like thought a lot of things he's done has been like really sketchy. I think a lot of it is just like people coming up with things that aren't true, and sometimes they'll go online and be like, no, this isn't true, blah blah blah, or like I think one time they unfollowed each other and then they had to say it was fake or some glitch. But this to me was so crazy. I don't understand. Like, number one, you're airing out your dirty laundry and your fights. Number two, you're literally telling the world that you didn't think your wife could be on the cover of Vogue. And number three, then you're like changing it and making it look worse. It's just like, I don't understand at all. So that's what happened. I don't know if Hailey said anything. She probably didn't, but I could not believe that. And then he was also just brought out at the SZA concert, and he was like acting really weird, like kissing her hand, and everyone was like, really, you're gonna do this when you just did that Instagram caption to your wife? So I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know, but I don't know. And again, we're never really gonna know what's truly going on in their relationship, but I don't know like what, it's just, it can't be good. It cannot be good. So that's our literally what moment of the week. I'm not like Hailey's number one fan, but I think she does deserve better. And I don't know why he's acting like this at all, because again, I haven't really thought anything of their relationship until this. And this to me was just really, really crazy. So we'll see what he does after this. I'm sure something else will happen. I don't know. But let's get into our viral vortex stories. We have some crazy ones because celebs are just like being crazy. I don't know why. But our first one is about Kevin Jonas. And it's actually not about Kevin Jonas because he came out to share that Kevin is not his real first name. And his real first name is Paul. So we all know Jonas Brothers, Kevin, Nick, and Joe. But Kevin came out and said that, no, it's actually not his real name. So he was doing a TikTok video. And it's a trend where you share a fun fact about yourselves to the New Flame song by Chris Brown. And he basically pointed to a text that repeated, "My first name's not Kevin." Which, first of all, if you know the TikTok trend, thank God he did it with 6 syllables, because so many people are doing this TikTok trend. And it's basically like you're saying 6 syllables to the beat of the New Flame Chris Brown song. But so many people will do like 10 syllables, or like it doesn't match up with the rhythm of the music, and I'm like, delete this video. Like, what? You can't even count? How old are you? Anyway, that's a whole other issue. But he said that his real first name is Paul, and it's Paul Kevin Jonas Jr. He was named after his father, Kevin Sr. And then in his caption, he jokingly asked if he should change his handle to Paul Jonas. So Kevin is his legal middle name. And I know that this happens so many times with people, and especially guys who like they use their middle name as their first name. But it just feels so crazy. Like we've been catfished kind of this whole time. And, you know, as far as like me, like I grew up listening to the Jonas Brothers, Camp Rock, their Jonas Brothers like TV show. Like it's so weird to me that that's not his real name. And it's his middle name. And I don't know. It just feels so weird to me because I just grew up with the Jonas Brothers for so long. And obviously I don't think anyone's going to be calling him Paul because we're not used to that. And it's been so many years. But yeah. And then of course you have the crazy fans who are like, I already knew this. Like I am such a big fan that I knew it because I read a biography about you and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, good for you. Well, most of the world didn't know that his first name was Paul. But yeah, and then I think that the Jonas Brothers like Instagram account or something, they were like posting, making fun of it and like trying to get views off of it, saying like breaking news, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, for those who didn't know, that is his real first name. Kind of crazy. Did not expect that. Anyway, let's move on to our next story, which is one of my favorite things that we will be covering up until Dancing with the Stars, because the second Dancing with the Stars celebrity has been announced, and it is none other than lovely, gorgeous Alex Earle. So she went on Good Morning America, and it was announced that she is going to be the second celebrity, joining Robert Irwin. And let me just say, I feel like this season is going to be so stacked based on votes, because I feel like a lot of the people they're going to get this season are going to have a lot of followers, and it's going to be hard because, especially for me, I'm thinking long term. I want people who are in the finals to be people I want to see on the Dance with the Stars tour, because obviously my sister and I went last year, and whoever the top 4 are, I think it's pretty much always the top 4, maybe some others join as well, but that's typically who are going to be joined on the Dancing with the Stars live tour. So I want like my favorites to make it far, but if everyone's like so popular, it's going to be hard. But she obviously has like over 4 million TikTok followers, and she said that she has always been a big fan of Dancing with the Stars. She used to watch it when she was younger with her grandma. Her grandma would always say maybe one day you could be on Dancing with the Stars. And she said it was an easy yes, and that she's really excited to make a lot of get ready with me's and give all of us and the fans a lot of tea about what's going on, because she said when she was watching last season, she was always kind of wondering like, what's the tea? Like, who's dating? What's the drama going on? So she said she's going to give us a lot of like backstage tea and gossip, which I think is going to be really, really exciting, because I know that TikTok plays a huge role, especially last year with the show and the contestants. And I think that she will definitely be giving us a lot of good stuff. So definitely we'll be following her. And as far as like partners, I think what would be smartest is to go with like a younger person who is also very like TikTok savvy, aka like Ezra. I don't know, since he is still one of the newer ones, if they would do that. I don't know how they're going to do it. I really wish that one day we'll get to know kind of a behind the scenes of how like the producers pair people together. I know that like the celebrities can kind of say who they do want if they could have anyone. And obviously Alex, they asked her, you know, who you would want. And she said, well, like obviously I would be okay with anyone. But I want to know like who people would want to be, like if they got the number one, or if they say kind of like in sororities where you like are ranking like who you want and then second and third. Or if you could say like who you really don't want to be paired with, that would be kind of crazy too. But anyway, I'm really, really excited for her. I think that she is going to do really, really well. She's going to look so good in all the outfits. I'm so excited for that. And yeah, I'm just ready for this season to start, and I want them to announce more people because it's so much fun to try and guess. I really did think that one of the Taylor Lautners was going to be announced because they kept making a lot of videos with some of the Dancing with the Stars pros. And then also Demi Lovato posted a picture with Sasha. So she could be on it too, which honestly, I think would be a slay for her. Someone I also want to see is Josh from Drake and Josh Peck. I think he's talked about it, that he would do it. I think he would be really funny too. Who else? I don't know. Alex Earl was a big like person people were talking about. Taylor Lautner, both of them. I think people think that both of them are going to be on it. Those are the main ones I've seen so far. But September needs to hurry up and get here because I'm so excited. Okay, our next story is about Kris Jenner, my queen, and her whole new look and her whole new face. So she was out in Paris for Lauren Sanchez's bachelorette party, and she looked amazing. I showed my husband a picture, and he was like, she looks just like Kim, like even younger. She looked so good. And a lot of people started speculating. There was a lot of talk online because it looked like more than just a full makeup and hair glam. It was like, she looks so youthful. She looks so young. She does not look like she's 69 or 70 years old. So in recent months, she apparently has been sharing more and more photos of her refreshed appearance, which a lot of people have said is very similar to her daughter's. And now it has been confirmed that she did undergo aesthetic enhancements from plastic surgeon Dr. Stephen Levine in New York City. And let me just say, everyone now wants the number of this plastic surgeon because it looks so freaking good. You guys, it looks so good. I'm going to post a clip of this and I'm going to put like a before and after. I mean, come on. Like it looks so good. So he is certified as an aesthetic and reconstructive surgeon. He graduated from NYU's medical school and he's been practicing since 2013. And then he opened his own practice in 2019. And he does basically like the A-list celebrities and supermodels and all of that. He supervises in natural looking enhancements of the face, breasts, and body. So, I mean, listen, I am all for, I know people are like, oh, like, why are people so afraid of like aging and looking older? Listen, if I have the money to go and look like way younger than I am and be compared to like my younger daughters, yeah, I'm going to do it if I have the money. Why would I not want to look younger and better? Like, I'm sorry. I don't understand. And for all the people hating on it, you post a selfie. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. But I love it. I think she looks so good. And she has the money. Like, why would you not do it? It looks so good. It doesn't look super, like, awful. I know that, like, a lot of people who do just, like, the Botox and, like, all the plastic surgery, it looks so fake and it, like, doesn't look good, but hers looks so good. It's the fact that people are online saying like, I was never gonna want to do anything like this, but seeing how she looks and how amazing she looks, yeah, if I had the money, I want the number of this plastic surgeon too. So we don't know exactly what has been done because she hasn't come out and said exactly what he did, but it just looks so good. And she's always done like Botox, and the one thing, like, I love the Kardashians like openness and how they do talk about things that they get done to themselves. And I think it's important when you are such a front facing celebrity, and not that like people, like you owe it to people and your fans to say what you have done, but I think it's nice when celebrities are open because it doesn't give us like a false image of like, oh, well, I don't look like that, so like let me just compare and then like hate on myself, when it's like, no, you just don't have the money to do what they've done to themselves, and everyone's so beautiful in their own way. But I think it is helpful to know that like a lot of times it is because like it's fake. But it does look so amazing. Like you'll see in the picture, it looks so good. So go follow the Instagram to go see the clip. Yeah, go Kris Jenner. Okay, let's get into our stop scrolling moments that had me stop scrolling mid-scroll, which honestly the Kris Jenner one should have been in the stop scrolling, but it was just too viral of a moment that I had to put it in that one. But our first one is about Brittany Snow, Pitch Perfect queen, and she was recounting an awful, disastrous date with a very famous celebrity who fell asleep mid makeout. I think one of my favorite things is when celebrities just like give us tea on other celebrities, because I don't know, it's just so funny to me. So she recalled a very famous DJ falling asleep on her mid-makeout in her late 20s. She said, one of the first dates I'd ever gone on from Raya, which is that celebrity dating app, was with this very famous DJ. She said, I can't tell you who, but I'm sure people can deduce it if they really want to. But he was like he's still famous, I guess, she said, clarifying. I think it was the first and second and third date that he fell asleep once while we were making out. Mid-makeout, I'm not kidding, I swear to you. She said we weren't doing anything very spicy, but she said that he just like stopped kissing her back. And the fact that it was like multiple times that he fell asleep is so crazy to me. She goes, I pulled back and he was just dead asleep, and I would wake him up and he would be like, what's going on? And then he'd say, oh man, I'm so sorry, I'm just so tired. And so she would ask like, well, is it because you had a late set last night? And yeah, that's just like really funny. She said, we go out like a week later. He comes over to my place. Same thing. We're kissing and then he's back asleep. So yeah, I don't know. I think that would have honestly hurt my feelings. I don't know if it like continuously happened. I'd be like, am I that boring? Like that bad of a kisser? But yeah, I wonder who the DJ was. I'm not like a DJ expert. I don't want to guess who it was because I literally have no idea. If you're listening to this, you might be screaming like, obviously it's this person. Actually, let's just look up famous DJs. Let's try to guess who it could be. David Guetta, Marshmello, Diplo, DJ Snake, John Summit. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it could be. But yeah, that honestly would have hurt my feelings for sure. And she's just like out him. No, probably not. But yeah, kind of crazy. And I love when celebs give us stories like that. Okay, and then our next top scrolling moment is about J-Lo. She was being sued for posting a picture of herself. So her social media landed her in legal hot water after a photographer and celebrity news agency sued her for copyright infringement over some Instagram and X post. So Edwin Blanco accused Jennifer of posting his copyrighted photos from a pre-Golden Globes party in January without consent. And then there was also a Backgrid photo agency who also targeted her for the same photographs because they co-own it with Edwin Blanco. And the lawyers for Blanco and Backgrid alleged that Lopez posted the photos of her arriving and leaving the party without contacting them or seeking a license. And basically there was just like a lot of copyright infringement. Several fans were reposting them, and so people were just saying like, you know, they're using these and didn't ask us for our permission. So a lot of them, I think, are just trying to settle it outside of court. Yeah. My thing is, like, I feel like when you're a celebrity like J-Lo, you would know, like, what photos you can and can't use. Or maybe, like, these people are just trying to get some money out of her and, like, it's really not that big a deal. And maybe, like, celebrities do this all the time and, like, the people don't care, but maybe they want money. I don't know. Kind of crazy, though, because I think that Backgrid has had a lot of lawsuits and have sued other celebrities over using their photographs. So I'm assuming this does happen. Also, the celebrities probably have so much money that they literally don't care and they'll just settle outside of court and be like, okay, here, have this and like whatever. Like, but I do get that. Yeah, they probably can't legally use them if they don't have their permission, but I feel like it just happens all the time and it's not a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of funny though, getting sued over posting pictures of yourself, but it's also like, it's a business. So I get how it is. But yeah, Glad I'm not a celebrity. I have to deal with all that. Okay, now we're going to get into our screen time. I'm going to save the You recap for the end in case you did not watch You. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but we will be recapping season 5, the final season of You. But first off, our first story is that the CHRISLEY family is going to be returning to television amid their parents, Todd and Julie, still being in prison. I don't know if I like this because I would only want it if Todd and Julie were back in the show. So I don't know how successful this is going to be. But Savannah, Chase, and their family are going to star in a new Lifetime reality show about navigating life as both of their parents remain behind bars for tax evasion. The show is going to follow like all the kids of Savannah, Chase, Grace, and Chloe, also Nanny Faye. And the CHRISLEYs don't know best anymore, but they're doing their best to be there for each other. The family faces the challenge of carrying on the CHRISLEY name and legacy on their own with only phone calls and brief visits with their incarcerated parents. Obviously, like Savannah and Chase have so much and like handling the other kids. I can't imagine how hard it's been on them. Maybe they need the money and like the TV show will help them with that. Savannah still maintains custody of Chloe and Grayson. She's also been fighting tirelessly for a presidential pardon to free her parents. Chase is addressing some lifetime struggles while building his new business and then navigating his relationship with his girlfriend, Jody. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I like this for them. I think it has to be for money. I don't know, because I always assumed that when they got out of prison, they would do kind of like a rebrand of the show. I don't know how successful it's going to be with just the kids. I feel like it will get some watches though, because obviously people are very interested in like what's going on with the family, and I can't imagine having to go through that. So anyway, maybe they know something and the parents will be getting out and they'll be able to put it on the show, and I don't know. We'll see. I don't know when this is coming out, but yeah, I was not expecting to hear like a rebrand of their show until they were out of prison, but we will see how it goes. Okay, our next is some Survivor news. Survivor season 48 finally completed and we have our winner revealed. Let me just say, I'm a big Survivor fan. Survivor season 48 was so boring. It was, even if you're not a Survivor watcher, like a big part of why we watch Survivor is because we love seeing blind sides. And so at the end of every episode, someone goes to tribal council, either like one little tribe or later on in the season, everyone merges together and you have to vote someone off. And one of my favorite things to watch, and a lot of like Survivor fans, is when they send someone home who's never expecting it. It's like one of the best parts of watching the show. And this past season, there was like maybe one like at the beginning of the episodes, like nothing crazy. It was very much like people who were in a strong alliance kept like staying together, and it was just like a really boring season. No one was making moves, but the person who did win, and if you are watching and you didn't watch the finale for whatever reason, like spoiler I guess, but Kyle won Survivor season 48, which I was very, very happy with, because the other two finalists were this pair who were together from the very beginning. And normally, like, first of all, in past Survivor seasons, if there is a big duo pair, you like split them up. Also, one of the people in the duo had an idol. If someone has an idol, you like try to vote them out so that they use the idol, and then you flush the idol and then the idol goes back into place so someone else can get it. They let her have the idol literally the whole entire season. I don't know what the heck was going on. It was such a bad season. It got so much hate, but luckily we have season 49 coming, which we'll see how that goes. But we also have season 50, which again is like all of the biggest names who have played Survivor coming back together. And that's going to be such an amazing amazing season. So even if 49 sucks as well, at least we have season 50, and I'll probably just go back and rewatch some of the other seasons because it was just such a sad, boring season. But yeah, Survivor is like one of my favorite shows to watch. It's just so good. I'm actually rewatching a few seasons right now because there are rumors of who's going to be on season 50. And so I want to go back and watch like the seasons where those people were on. Also, it's really fun too because a lot of Survivor players also go on Traders. So yeah, I don't know. Not a good season, but we have season 50 to come back to. Okay, our You recap season 5, end of an era, end of the show. I will say I did not like how it ended. I honestly think this is probably my least favorite season. I had high hopes for it, and as I was watching, I was like, okay, this could be good. It may all be connecting together, and then I was just like, yeah, it wasn't that amazing. The one big thing for me is I didn't like the chemistry Joe and Bronte had, and that Joe and Kate had. I didn't love Kate and Bronte as the female leads. I love, obviously, Love and her as a character. I loved Marianne, and I loved Elizabeth, obviously. So it was hard because like the other main female leads were just so good. And I don't know. I don't know. Wait, is her name Guinevere? Oh my gosh, her real who plays her is Elizabeth, but Guinevere Beck. Anyway. So that was my one main thing, is I just didn't like the female leads. I did, though, however, like Reagan / Maddie, the twins. Obviously, Pitch Perfect is my favorite movie series, and so I loved seeing them. Her acting was incredible. The fact that she played twins and it really felt like it was two different people when it was just one actress playing them was so amazing. So any of her scenes were like my favorites. She did so amazing. The one thing that I liked about the season, so once we found out that like Bronte, aka Louise, was setting Joe up, I was like, okay. I was thinking they were going to connect her not just to Beck, but with everyone else. So with like Love and with Marianne. And then when I saw that it was really just a little bit of her knowing Beck back in the beginning and wanting to get revenge for that, I don't know. I was hoping with the season 5 that there would just be a lot more connection and it would just be more satisfying. And it wasn't, unfortunately. So I was just kind of like, I don't know. I was in love with it. The only other time I was kind of like shocked is when she got on the call and the other people were on there and her crazy ex, you know, it was all like a setup, and then he was Dr. Nikki's son. So I liked how that kind of played. Anything that had to do with like a connection from past seasons I liked, but there wasn't enough of it. And then like the last few episodes were so slow and so boring. It was just like Joe and Bronte, and I was like, I literally don't even want to see you guys here. Like this is so boring. I didn't like it at all. And yeah, another thing is like he just got caught too many times and like fooled too many times. It didn't make sense because he is such a smart person, and I didn't like how they made him be fooled so many times, and it was just like a boring ending. And also Kate surviving the fire at the end, like that didn't even make sense to me at all either. I don't know. I was hoping for a lot more, and it was kind of let down. Also, Bronte surviving, like getting strangled in the water. It just like the ending didn't make sense to me, and I wish that they showed maybe like some of the trial and that, and not just like him going into the courtroom and then being in jail and that was it. But then like the whole hour of the episode was like him and Bronte in the house together. I don't know. I wasn't in love with it. Wasn't in love with the season, and wasn't in love with the characters, unfortunately. Season 1 will forever be probably my favorite. And then anything with Love. She was so good. But yeah, I don't know. I was hoping for more. I was hoping for a more satisfying ending, and I know that's what he deserved. But I don't know. I don't know what I wish I would have done differently. Maybe just like had him die, but like it not just be Bronte, and I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't like as satisfying. So I was kind of upset about that. But yeah, now I'm watching Paradise on Hulu, which everyone's been telling me to watch, and we finally started it. We're only on episode 3, but I am addicted, and I know there's only 8 episodes, so I'm savoring it, even though I know there's a season 2 coming out, so that's really good. But that has been my new show that I've been watching. But yeah, okay, our last little thing is going to be our true crime tangent / deep dive. Obviously, the Diddy case is going on, and I'm not covering any of like the beginning stuff because majority of the case is like so unsettling and gross to me. I can't even read about it. But it's obviously like being talked about everywhere. So the one thing that I did see is Kid Cudi was detailing a chilling call with Diddy during an alleged break-in, and I was kind of like, what the heck is this? It is interesting to me. Like I am kind of following who is getting up on the witness stand, and something that's also really kind of crazy is his ex-girlfriend, even though she did sign an NDA because it's like an FBI investigation, she legally has to testify. So she got to keep the millions of dollars that they paid her to sign the NDA, and also gets to speak her truth, which is so amazing. But yeah, it's just like it's so upsetting. Like, I was trying to like watch some videos on it and like summaries, and I just like couldn't do it. But anyway, so Kid Cudi was alleging that Diddy broke into his house when he found out about him and Cassie having been in a relationship. Obviously, Cassie was Diddy's ex-girlfriend. So he took the stand on May 22nd, and he alleged that Diddy broke into his house when he found out about him and Cassie's brief romance, which started back in 2011. And then he called Diddy to confront him about it, and then was detailing the chilling conversation that followed. So he called him up and said, "What's up?" And I said, "Mother effer, are you in my house?" He said, "I'm here waiting for you." And then said that he seemed really calm when he picked up the phone, and alleged that he called the police while on his way to the house because I didn't know what his intentions were. So Kid Cudi got home. He said that he didn't see him there. It was just the police that were there. But the security cameras on the side of his house were moved out of the way. His dog was locked up in the bathroom, and some gifts were opened up on the counter. Now, Diddy didn't say anything publicly about the alleged break-in. And then people were asking why Kid Cudi was called as a witness. And he was saying that he dated Cassie, and just seeing that there was like a lot of things happening when Diddy found out that like him and Cassie were dating, and they didn't know if he was going to hurt both of them. So yeah. Anyway, so then he said that Diddy became really irate when he found out about the relationship. He said, "I just remember him putting a wine opener between his fingers and lunging at me." So that was part of Cassie's testimony. But yeah, there's just like everything I hear about this trial is so upsetting and just so disgusting. And it's even stories like that of him like maybe being the one in his house, breaking in his house and like locking up his dog, and like just being in there is just like so eerie to think about, and just like, it's so upsetting and so creepy. But yeah, I've been kind of reading a little bit about it, but again, it's just like, it's a lot. It's really heavy, just like really gross stuff that I don't think a lot of people should be looking into. But anyway, that's the trial going on right now. I have been slacking on the Karen Reed trial just because, I mean, it's so long. It's like hours every single weekday. I'm trying to just kind of do like catch up summaries. And then I'm waiting obviously on the Brian Koberger trial. So there's just like a lot of really big high profile cases going on right now. And hopefully everyone gets the justice that they deserve. And we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I think those are all the stories for this week. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in, whether it's like every single week or whether it's just kind of when you see me pop up on your screen. And I just really appreciate all the support and love that you guys give me. And that is a wrap on this week's episode of Literally What. I hope you guys have such a fun long weekend. Go out and do something fun. Go get dinner on a patio, because I swear there is nothing better and like serotonin boosting than just sitting outside in a patio with like a loved one or some friends and eating dinner and a drink on a patio. Like, it's literally my favorite thing ever to do. If you loved today's episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you're watching this on YouTube, and subscribe if you're listening. Go ahead and give it 5 stars, and go follow the Instagram, go follow the TikTok. I think that's everything. I always have stuff linked down below so you know where to find me. But I love you guys so much, and I will see you next week. And thanks so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Bye.